Here I stand on top of the high place of sacrifice in Petra. Petra is of course one of the most famous places for tourists to come in all of Jordan. The iconic treasury that you see when you come through the Sikh is really worth a visit. And so is the arduous hike up to the top, to the high place of sacrifice. When the people of Israel came out of Egypt, they came to this area. And the Lord specifically said that they were not to engage these people who lived here in battle because they were their relatives. And the relatives, they were the descendants of Esau. You may remember that in Bible history, there were two twins, Jacob and Esau. They had too much cattle, too much possessions, and the land in this direction couldn't hold both of them. So Esau took his wives, his cattle and everything and moved and settled in this area. But the Bible often mentions the fact that the people of Israel came this way through when they came from Egypt. Let me remind you of what the prophet Micah says about this thing, that the people of Israel came out of Egypt. In Micah chapter 6 and verse 4, it says, "I brought you out of Egypt and redeemed you from the land of slavery. I sent Moses to lead you, and Aaron and Miriam." Aaron, of course, was the brother of Moses. Miriam was his sister. Aaron actually died on top of the mountain here, which is called Mount Arun. And that is forever a testimony to the fact that this is the place where the people of Israel came through. But as we are here, we're also reminded of something else in the same prophecy. In verse 5 it says, "My people, remember what Balak, king of Moab, plotted, what Balaam, son of Beor, answered. Remember your journey from Shittim to Gilgal, that you may know that the righteous acts of the Lord." The history went like this. When the people of Israel came through here, they passed through the kingdom of Edom, or rather they passed by it because they were not allowed to engage them in battle. They had to pay in silver for the water and the food that they took while they came here. And when they camped further north where the kingdom of Moab is, the king there got really, he was afraid that these large numbers of people was going to attack him. But God had said, no, you're not to attack them. But still he was so afraid that he sent word for the prophet Balak to curse the Israelites. But the prophet, he had to do what God told him, and he was going to bless the people, not curse them. Here on the high place of sacrifice, we are reminded of what many people think they have to do in order to please the gods. Throughout history, many people have thought they have to do arduous work, they have to sacrifice things in order to please the gods. And this area has an elaborate system where an altar and a place where the heart was put when they had slaughtered the animal, an elaborate system of worship right here. But the prophet Micah wants something else, not something outward. He wants something that touches the heart of the individual. If you look down in verse 8 of chapter 6 of the prophet Micah, this is what the Lord says. "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? 3 things: to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." Live that kind of life, and you will be a strong witness to the God of love.